I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. I'm a soldier in the army. I'm a sanctified soldier in the army of the Lord. I'm a sanctified soldier in the army.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Testimony episode 3. I'm your host, Dave Parker, and today we're going to be having 3 really special guests on. So I'm going to let the guests introduce themselves. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Hi, my name is Kayla, and my mom, Aqua Robbins, is a pastor, therapist, and author.
My name is Brandon Freeman, and my dad's name is Pastor Gregory Freeman of Old Shepherd's Lion Church of God in Christ.
Hi, my name is Danielle Brooks. My dad was on episode 2. My father is Corey Brooks of New Beginnings Church of Chicago.
Okay, so there we have it. Our 3 special guests on, and they all are preacher's kids, as you can tell by the title. So let's go ahead and get into the tea. So go ahead and tell us, y'all, about your childhood. How was it growing up in the house? Like, were you all born here in Chicago? How was your childhood?
Childhood for me it was different. I feel like with the challenges of having a pastor as a father, you're on the strict rules. You just can't do everything that everybody else do. But it's a bittersweet thing because you taught that seed is put in you with like moral standards and stuff. So I mean, it's challenging, but it's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about you?
I had a pretty normal life. I didn't really have a very strict life. It was only certain things that I couldn't do. As a child, I felt like I did everything I wanted to do. I danced. I had no limitations on like having experiences to find myself. Mm-hmm. But I think it was just certain things I couldn't do. Like I couldn't participate in Halloween or watch certain movies and stuff like that. But besides that, I can't really remember anything that affected my childhood.
Wow, I didn't know you could participate in Halloween. So how did you feel with the other kids?
Kind of left out, but at the same time, she would do other things to kind of distract us from that. In that moment, we would just do other things. So I always had things to do, so it was just like whatever. But growing up, I did rebel and start doing Halloween on my own, and that was actually my favorite holiday.
Yes, I'm going now.
Okay. And what about you, Danny?
I couldn't celebrate Halloween either, but like I couldn't watch like Harry Potter, and I love Harry Potter now. Like that is my show. But growing up, let's see, I moved to Chicago when I was like 2 years old. So
where are you from?
I was born in Ohio, and we lived in Indiana. Ohio was just the closest hospital that we stayed to. So
okay.
I was born there, and we moved here when I was around 2. So growing up as a pastor's kid, it had its ups and downs. For school, like I always went to Christian school like my whole life. Okay. So they didn't play about that. And going to church every Sunday, I had to do that. Like that was the must. I had to go to church every Sunday. So
yeah, just so y'all know, me and Danny been knowing each other since kindergarten. So we actually went to the same kindergarten. Okay, so let's get into the next question. Tell us about what you admire most about your parents.
Oh, I got that one. I would say that I admire that he's a dream chaser. Like anything that he puts his mind on, like he literally goes after it. Like he makes me understand that like no dream is ever too big. So, and I admire his heart too. Like he's a giver. So if you call him for anything, he gonna show up. So I really admire that.
I think I admire my mom's resilience and how faithful she is to God, no matter like what she's going through at the time, no matter her financial situation, maybe going through grief, anything, she always has still been faithful and true to God. And I think that's what I admire most.
Yeah. Kind of similar. I admire in a world that's moving so rapidly fast and times changing, I admire the fact that my parents can stay the same and true to themselves and true to their ministry, and not let the times change who they is or change their values.
Okay, I love those answers. So the Bible tells us that the blessings and favor from God can be passed down from generation to generation. Specifically, it talks about that in Genesis 26, 1 through 5. In that scripture, God is basically telling Abraham that he's going to bless him from generation to generation. And all of the generations will be blessed through Abraham. So I just have a question for y'all. Do you feel like you had a better childhood than your parents did, possibly due to their prayers and their favor with God because they served in the church and to other people? Just compare your childhood to your parents' childhood. Do you feel like yours was better?
I think I had a better childhood than my mom just because by her being a pastor and stuff, I feel like I was exposed to less. I was able to just be a kid. I didn't have to deal with her like cursing me out or like really whooping me a lot or anything. It was just more, I feel like I had an easier life than her.
Okay.
Yeah. I come from well, my parents come from a family of 16 for my dad and 14 for my mom. So I say the conditions, they coming from the part one of them come from the project, the other come from the project. So I believe that the conditions in the time and the wealth at the time, I have a way better life just because it's they grew up in a time where money wasn't lucrative as it is now.
So did you grow up in a house compared to the projects?
Yeah, so I grew up in the house. Yep. We started on Leamington, Iowa, at a building, and we moved on North Avenue.
Okay. And what about you, Danny?
Definitely, for sure. I definitely had a better like growing up. Basically because like I have a relationship with my father and I know like my dad never had a relationship with his dad. And he grew up in like a small Tennessee town, like where the graveyard is still segregated. So like just growing up in that town and like being able to have my father in my life, I think, and financial wise, yeah, I think that I had a better childhood for sure.
Okay, so those are all really good answers. Okay, so next I would like to know, was there ever a time where you felt like you were far away from God? And if so, what lifestyle or habits were you involved in?
I believe when my brother died, I was the farthest away from God. I think I kind of felt like if my mom is so faithful to you and so like such a servant of you, why would you allow her son to be taken from her, especially in the manner that he was taken away? So I feel like I just kind of started rebelling against God, kind of rebuking God, feeling like it was his fault that my brother died. So yeah, during that time, I felt like I kind of just strayed away from God, and I was like self-medicating with drugs and alcohol, really.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't want to just pass over that your brother died, so I'm so sorry that happened. And I just want to, address that and basically talk about grief a little bit because that is like one of the hardest things of life that we have to all deal with grief. But just I can't even imagine losing a sibling, so that's a different type of hurt. Um, but with that, what about you, Free? Do you feel like it was a time where you were far away from God?
Not a little more complicated than that. So, quick background. Like I said, strict father. Um, since my dad grew up in similar to yours, 16 children, obviously a father can't have a one-on-one relationship with one child. It's 80 y'all. You know what I'm saying? So my father really didn't learn that from his dad. So it was all really more so a provider and disciplinarian. Straight. So with that, I got other family that I chose that's not in the church. So, I kind of had a best of both world thing. So I kind of rebelled. And about 15, 16 years old, I didn't follow the rules. So I was homeless on the streets for choices that I made. And during that time, I just felt like anytime in life that I hear church music or I go to church, I feel like it's so easy for my heart to be convicted by the right song. And during that time, I was so disconnected from God that I could listen to gospel music. I couldn't cry. Like I couldn't cry. I ended up getting locked up. well, making foolish decisions and whatnot. And then during that time, I was just looking like, God, I just want to feel. You know what I mean? So, but even in that situation, I feel like I put myself in a predicament, and God was still able to use me. I was able to, minister in my own way to people that was in that same situation as well.
Okay, so you said a handful, so I got questions. So the first question that popped into my head while you were talking is you got put out and you were homeless.
Yeah.
So I have been kicked out of the house a few times. Yeah. But honestly, I've never made it all the way out the door. So if you feel real, they would kick me out, but I would never make it all the way out the door. It would be like I slept in the hallway before, but I ain't going nowhere. So I just want to know how long were you homeless and what was that? What did you do? What was that like?
So, no man. So it was different at first. I'm not gonna lie. At first it was like, I'm grown now. I was, I had a girlfriend at the time. Her mom had Section 8, so I was thugging it over there. I chose to, make money with, selling drugs or whatever like that. So I used to sleep on block or at the grandma on the block house or friends and stuff. So at first it was cool. I was the person that would be the first one on the joint. And the last one. But then reality started to set in, and it was like when everybody else go home to their family, I'm texting my mom. She texts me. Me and my mom got this crazy little thing we do since I was 15. I love you more. And I'm doing that, and it's like, hey, everybody going home, and where I'm going, So it was cool at first, but in reality, trying to grow up so fast that ain't hot. That ain't what's up.
Okay. And also, I heard you say that you spent a little bit of time behind bars. And,
Definitely.
I just want to know, what did you learn from that, and what was that like? What was that?
Don't get this the wrong way, but I feel like jail for me, the experience of jail made me a better man.
Okay.
Because I was locked up from 16 to 22. So I literally grew up in jail. And although that's not something that I would wish on any other child, but the rate that I was going on, I got several friends dead. I got several friends never coming home. You know what I'm saying? So 15 on the streets with unlimited freedom. You just with no guidance. I'm headed on a wrong path. So when I went to jail and I came out, I came out level-headed, and it was. The experience was rough, but the lesson was efficient.
That takes such a strong person to grow and realize that experience probably made me.
I needed it.
Or saved you.
Yeah, because Chicago streets, a lot of young people do pass away at an earlier age. Yeah. So that could have been God trying to save you from being out and doing what you want to do and being grown at 16. So thank you for sharing that. Danny, what about you?
Wow, you know what? I would have to say maybe when I was a teenager, I was dating this boy, and whatever he wanted to do, I was down to do. It didn't matter. So, and it's crazy because you're talking about, people dying at a young age and stuff. And he wound up dying, he wound up getting shot. And my dad actually did his funeral, which is the craziest thing. So I would say.
I did not know this.
Yes. So, during that time, it's similar to Kayla, right? Grief. Around that time, I was popping X, I was getting drunk. And I just ran away from all my problems, and that made me move out the state because I just wanted to get away from everything.
And if you don't mind me asking, how did he pass? What?
He got shot.
Okay.
Yeah, he got shot. And
do you remember that day? How you felt?
Oh, I remember that day. It'll never leave my mind. I was literally out buying my mom a birthday gift. And I just remember somebody calling my phone, just crying. I'm like, slow down. I can't hear you. They're like, he's gone. He's gone. And so I was just like, what? Who's gone? And they said his name. They were like, Papa was gone. And so I just remember me calling his phone over and over again, and he never answered. And I just remember like walking in the house and just like throwing my mama her birthday gifts. It was just like, yeah. So.
Oh no, I'm so sorry for y'all lost. So I just feel like with that, being in Chicago in general, especially at our time that we grew up, I feel like so many young people passed away, and it's just horrible. The gun violence here, I hate it, but I'm trying to start this podcast so people can maybe see it's another route to take. So now that we know what happened for y'all to feel far away from God, now y'all a little bit older. Well, I'm 29. I don't know if y'all care about sharing y'all age. Yeah. Okay, so now that we know what made y'all grow away from God at a young age, now that y'all a little bit older, what happened, or is there a specific time where you grew closer to God now? Or is there something dramatic happen where you were like, yeah, God is real, let me turn back around from this lifestyle?
Yeah, speaking of like the gun violence in Chicago and stuff, I remember one night I was out with my friends. We were just partying. This is around the town where everybody used to be in like vans, just riding around, drinking, partying. And I remember the van that we were in literally just started getting shot up.
While you were in it?
Yes, I don't remember who they was trying to shoot or nothing, but it literally started getting shot up, and I literally couldn't move. I was on the back row, and I was just talking to God, literally down under the seat, basically talking to God like, please, like just get me out of this. And I feel like making it out of there, especially with all the bullets, seeing all the bullet holes in the car and stuff, I was just like, oh my God, like God is real. I need to be serious.
Wow, he really saved you that night. Oh, were you scared after that?
I didn't go outside for so long after that. Like I was traumatized. And then I think I didn't even supposed to be outside. So imagine coming home and you can't even really tell your mama what happened because it's like, oh, what is supposed to be outside?
Don't get trouble again.
I'm not ready to get my punishment for it. So
Fear. Fear is the best part.
Okay.
Okay, what about y'all?
I don't even know if I should talk about this, but I committed a crime. Let's just say that. I committed a crime. I'm not gonna say what the crime was.
Yeah, don't convict yourself.
But yeah, they was looking for me. I mean, they was on me real bad, and I was terrified. Like,
wait, this mean they came to your house?
They came to the church. They came to the house. Oh my God!
The household.
Yeah, y'all. Like, I committed a crime, and thank you to my daddy because he saved me. He got connections. So, but yeah, I was terrified because I can't do jail. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do jail. So I was terrified, and I was like, you know what, Danielle, you just out here doing anything. Like, so I actually rededicated myself to God.
That's so good. I love that. How old were you when that happened?
When I go through I'm just gonna let that one slide, But yeah, that's what brought me back to God. I was out here wild.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. We don't need to say nothing.
That is so funny.
I'm glad you got out of trouble.
So for me, it wasn't really like a situation. It was just like when I got older, and I constantly kept getting in situations where like I started new businesses. It seemed like everything my hands touched, God blessed. And like in the midst of my worldly actions and whatnot, it's still God always seemed to bless anything I touch. I just started I'm an entrepreneur, so I just started so many businesses. Just jumped out the window, woke up one day, said I want to do it, and God blessed it every single time. So I just had to step back and realize to see the rest of the world and be in my life, and I realized like the favor of God been on my life forever. Like, and I just had that at that moment. I started to. I had a nickname. My nickname is Free, but so I started to show Instagram branding. And I'm like, God started touching my life. Let me open up and show the world branding. Let God use me and my story to touch other people. And I'm not perfect. And I'm still a work in progress. Lord knows. I'm sure. But even with that, I just feel like in the midst of whatever you're doing, God can still use you and manifest itself through stuff that you do.
Amen.
Y'all my rich friends. especially you three. Okay, so that brings me to the next question, which is, what do y'all do in career-wise? What do y'all do?
I got you.
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a makeup artist. I have 2 businesses, accessories line and a cosmetics line. And I'm going back to school now to be an artist as well.
That's dope. And I love her lip gloss.
I got it on.
Yes, me too. I'm wearing lip gloss now. So what about you, Bree? What you do?
So I'm a developer and I'm a general contractor
Of his own company.
Yeah, she's so funny. And I'm also a real estate investor.
Okay, don't play with them.
Okay, so a developer and a who?
Okay.
So I'm an investor in real estate. I'm a general contractor and I'm a developer.
Okay. Yeah. So you got real estate money. Okay, and what do you do, Danielle?
So I was originally in marketing. I also worked for Adulthood, which is my dad's not-for-profit.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm getting into real estate, so I'm be calling free.
Sure.
And I'm also going to school to be a therapist right now. So I'm about to graduate really soon from Northwestern.
Free session.
With my master's, so yeah, that's what I do.
Yes, Danny is my therapist, actually. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when you're going through something, you can call. Okay, so yes, y'all are all doing great in life. Y'all, it seemed like besides that one time you was homeless, God ain't never left you out in the cold. What form of discipline did your parents use with you? And do you agree with it? And is it the same form of punishment that you are or will use with your own kids?
Like I said before, my mom is a therapist, so she kind of talks to you. But when she talks to you, it's in a manner where you just don't even want her to talk to you because now she just drilling you for the longest. So it's like she always talked to me. That's the worst than ever putting your hands on me or anything. Like, I don't want to hear it. And now I do the same thing with my kids too. But I do find that it works better because if somebody is like hitting you or something like that, you kind of is like rebelling. You're not really understanding like where they coming from. But the way that she was taught made me know like, okay, I get what she's saying, even if I didn't want to accept it. I mean, I've got a whooping, not for real, but probably a little pop.
Little pop.
Okay, little pop in the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Free? How was their household? You say your daddy was disciplinary.
What's your name?
Nah, seriously. I didn't agree with the discipline, but you got to remember from the background, everything is generational. So it's like, as in being a disciplinarian, that's all you know. So I don't follow. I probably need it, but in my life, no, I don't whip my children. I don't whip my children. My son is, he's being an individual right now, but I let him explore his individuality, and I just talk to him on a level that he can relate. My daughter, she's just so sensitive. I don't have to say.
That's me.
You'll feel bad if you yell at her. She'll cry.
That's me. I'll cry if I get yelled at.
So nah, I'm the same.
But so you got that belt though.
I never had to use it, honestly.
No, I'm saying with your belt.
Oh, belt? Man, that's what I'm saying. Whatever you can grab.
Oh my God.
That's what you gonna get. So,
Oh my gosh. I got whoopings and punishments. Like, nothing too crazy, but like I got so tired, y'all, of getting no punishment. Literally, I was like, I'm gonna go buy my own phone. Ain't no taking my phones no more. So I was like that type of rebellious. I fought my parents. Like I fought back.
They would beat you up.
Yeah, I rebuke you. No, literally, like that was in my teenage years, but I wasn't really that bad of a child, I don't think. So
Your daddy said you was worse. You was worse. He told me you was the worst.
And now look at me.
Yeah, you did. You told that. Okay, so yeah. With that, I want to know how your current relationship with God is, and what do you do to maintain it?
Right now, I feel like I'm seeking my own relationship with God because I always had that foundation from my mom, but I don't think I had like an understanding for myself. So right now, I'm currently like reading my Bible. I ordered like a study guide to my Bible, and I've just been studying it. And I'm actually going to get back into going to church regularly, but I'm not as of right now.
Me, I go to church pretty much, like on New Year's and stuff. All our friends, we try to, do that as a group. And I just think keeping my relationship strong with God is just it always goes back to ministry for me. Like, certain seeds was dropped in us at an early age, so we know the word. Like we can't run from it. When we rebel, we get hit upside our head. We go right back like a magnet. So I feel like just being ministry where I am in life, and that helps me stay connected to God, telling people about God and sharing my experiences about it.
Yeah, I'm still on my own journey too. Like I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I feel like I was forced to be in the religion like growing up. So I want to find out what that religion is for me and what it looks like. But I mean, I watch church online because I'd rather watch it on my TV than go to church. But yeah, and I also like just having conversations, like we have conversations or having conversations with my dad, like I still keep that communication of God open, and I pray and I meditate. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so me personally, I watch church online and I go in person. So yeah. And I pray every day and read the word every day. That's something that I just started doing, and God really talks to me through the word, and like whatever I journal and write in my journal, he will reveal what he wants me to know about how I'm feeling in the word. So I found that to be helpful. So I suggest that people do that. So also, I think this is gonna be my last question. What is some advice that you would give to your younger self?
I would probably just tell my younger self to just give myself grace and to slow down. I feel like I was trying to be so grown, so young. So I just left the house early. I did a lot. I always wanted more for myself. So I did a lot of wild and crazy things to get it. Like I got it by any means. And it's like I would tell myself, like, you got time, like you got so much talent, so much creativity in you that you can use for good. You don't have to do certain things to get money or whatever. So I would just tell myself to slow down.
For me, it's like more so what I would tell the younger Brandon is that change your perspective, because the same lessons that my father was drilling in my head out of tough love, which is the love that he chose to love me in. I didn't understand that. Now I'm older and now I can understand every single message. So the perspective that I was looking at the tough love on, hated, rebelled. But the younger Brandon, I would have gave a different perspective to appreciate it, because I learned something and I was taught something, I was drilled something that a lot of people are too unfortunate enough to not even experience that. So it's amazing to have an experience with your father in the house with you. No matter how hard they get and whatever, responsibilities you have. But, I would have told young Brandon, change your perspective, and I would have seen things different.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of men, honestly, that I've met that are from Chicago, they don't have their father. So the fact that your father was in the home and he loved the Lord, that's like a win-win situation. So That's great. I commend your dad for that. What about you, Danielle? What advice would you give?
I would just give myself, like Kayla said, to slow down. Like it's not going anywhere. Take your time. Because when you get an adult, you gonna wish you was a kid again. So
Yes.
okay,
Reverse.
okay, like you gonna wish you was a kid again. And my parents used to always say that, like you just want to grow up too fast. Like don't do that. So I would just tell myself to slow down and just tell myself like anything you want to do, you could do it. Like don't let nothing or no one stop you. So
Yeah, I think as I'm growing older, I'm learning that the advice, like me trying to do it on my own, is almost impossible. It's like everything that you put with God in it, it just flourishes, and that's not by coincidence. So, I just encourage all the young people to stay close to God, like cling to Him for dear life. Because I used to try to get things, like you said, Kayla, the fast way, which sometimes it'll work and sometimes it wouldn't, but it's just better, and you'll feel more fulfilled, and it'll be blessed quicker and better with God. It'll be a journey, but you gotta stay the course. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching episode 3. That concludes everything. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so that you can get all the updates that I post. And thank you to our 3 guests for coming on today. This was such a good episode. So go ahead and follow them. I'm gonna leave their Instagram and everything, and Kayla's link to her lip gloss line and everything, makeup line down below. Go ahead and get it, because show her what my viewers can do. And you won't be disappointed, because I got that on right now. But so thank you, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. And that's the tea.
I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. I'm a soldier in the army.